First on
Wait
this
till they hear
motherfucker.
bars. Wait till they hear bars.
Yeah.
Wait till they hear bars. Wait till y'all hear
bars
bars.
crazy.
That's a real
I think
song.
Havoc did that beat.
That's a real song.
Yeah.
That's when he sent me that. That was his
Hey,
idea.
this man go so crazy on bar. I be hitting him. Say, bro, what's up, bro? He
Nah.
went hard on that motherfucker, man. How don't be going so hard?
It's a real song.
Hey,
you know what I mean? It
bars
got
hard.
that New York flavor. That hip hop is hip hop, and he sent it to me. It wasn't something. It's cliche and it's stereotypical for me to send that to him. You know what I mean? It's only expected. It's something to him to do. We love it. He sent that to me. He's spitting on that motherfucker. So I went crazy like you.
The music industry is changing. Now, I talked about this in a previous video, and I'll link that video for you guys so you guys can check that out. But it was that Lil Wayne video where I broke the news that he was dropping that little mixtape that did poorly, by the way, number-wise. And I'm going to explain to you guys why. So, since the music industry is changing, the big-name artists are no longer selling what they used to sell. So that is why in that video, I told you guys how Doja Cat, who is a mainstream A-list celebrity artist, only sold 37K. Now you might say, why did she only sell 37K? I explained to you guys in that video why she only sold 37K. She sold 37K for multiple reasons. The reason, because of this title of this video, and those satanic messages. What they realized, like I explained to you guys in that video, is that those satanic messages were not working. It wasn't worth. Now, trust and believe, if she would have done that and it would have played out well, they would have kept going. That's not to say she actually believes in these satanic messages. That's not to say that she actually represents that. But for the bag, but for 37K, y'all, she don't represent that. Let me educate you guys on something. 100 million followers on Instagram doesn't equal 100 million sales and records. Let me repeat what I just said. 100 million followers on Instagram does not equal to 100 million in sales. Especially in this day and age. Maybe in 2013 before streaming. But with streaming, you can stream an album 100 million times, and it doesn't equal a million sales. This is why the music industry is changing. So even some of these bigger artists who are still good, still making great music, aren't going to sell as much. So the only two artists you see really selling those big numbers still are in the picture, the thumbnail, and there's Drake and Taylor Swift. Now you guys might say, why is Drake and Taylor Swift the only two dominating the music industry? They're dominating the music industry because Drake is a person that people can relate to. How does this Jewish boy from Canada who was doing Degrassi someone we can relate to? Well, he's a guy who raps and sings about a lot of breakups, a lot of women, a lot of heartbreaks. What does Taylor Swift sing about? Taylor Swift just put out an album where she re-recorded her whole album that she already put out. This is music she already recorded, y'all. It still sold 1 million. How did it sell 1 million, Damarcus? It sold 1 million because, I told y'all in the last video, fan base, all that, name, all that. But at the same time, what does she sing about? Heartbreaks, things like that. People want to have something they can grab onto. If you're going to rap and sing about something no one can relate to, it's not going to sell that much, especially in this day and age. People want something they can grasp onto, an image. That's why you don't see most rappers on big-time platforms and stuff like that. I'll give you guys a perfect example of a rapper who has talent, but you'll never see him on, like, mainstream stuff or on the radio. Benny the Butcher. Don't know much about him, but I know he can rap. But you know what I also know about him? What's his image? What's his story? If the white people want to put him on something, what can they put him on? They be like, what can we relate to him? We never been in a trap house. We never sold drugs, so we don't understand that lifestyle. So how can we put him on our platform, basically? You very rarely see rappers on there for that reason, unless they really have a bag, or their label really believes in them, and they're going to put that bag behind them and have them do that. You really only see that with A-list celebrities. So if you don't have an image, or if you don't have anything that people can grasp onto, or a TikTok song some people can dance to, or a hook someone can string onto, you're not really going to sell that much in this day and age in the music industry. Just like I told y'all how the NBA is changing, the music industry is changing it the same way. When Lil Wayne announced that little project, I told you guys it was not going to sell that much. It doesn't matter if you put 20 songs on there, it still isn't going to sell much. If you're going to drop anything, project, anything, people need to be let alone of that. It's very rare where a person can just drop something and it sells. 5 years ago is not what today is. So back in 2018, you can probably get away with that. 2018, people were waiting for Lil Wayne to drop anything because he haven't dropped anything in the streaming age, right? So that was his first project that he ever dropped in the streaming age, and it sold 437K first week. How can you go from 437K first week to 100K? Because you didn't drop anything after that. There was no anticipation. So when he dropped this little project, I knew it wasn't going to do well. No one has nothing to grasp onto. This is just random music. Just random songs you put together and put on. If you're going to put any type of project on, it needs an image behind it. It needs some type of message. What are we grasping going to? What is the theme of this album? What is the theme of this mixtape? What is the theme of this EP? Drake was able to do that with you guys and show you guys the pull that he still has. He only dropped like 4 or 5 songs and it still sold 100K, y'all. So what you see a lot of these artists are going to do when they drop music, they do like deluxes or they drop extra songs because they're trying to boost the album sales up extra. So I'll give you an example. Nicki just dropped Pink Friday, right? Pink Friday 2. They had her at like 100, like it was high 100K, but it wasn't 200K. It was like 100 and something, right? She put out an extra song with 50 Cent. Now she's on pace to sell 199K. And then you know what else they'll do? You know that single that you dropped last year? We want you to put that on the album too. Just make it a single. Even though people heard it last year, just put it out on the album, make it a single. You'll see these record labels and artists do that for extra sales. That's what it's all about. That's what the music industry is. If you don't have that pull, you're going to have to make that pull in some way, somehow. So this is what you'll see in a lot of these situations. And that's why you be like, why is this album or whatever, why does it have so many songs? Why does it have this? Why is this song on there? That's why. There's your answer. So if your name ain't Drake or Taylor Swift, your numbers are going to decrease. This is why you see all these artists who are probably doing well years ago. The music ain't selling as much. That's why. So Kanye is going to drop an album this week. Another collab album. You might say, why do these artists keep dropping collab albums? They're putting the other artists on. When Drake did it, everyone looked at it as a Drake album. It was not a 21 Savage album. He's putting him on. This is a Kanye West album. This isn't a Ty Dolla $ign album. He's putting him on, y'all. This is what these artists are doing to help the other artists, build the other artists up. Because no one looks at those albums as the other artist's album. I told you guys, when people do these collab albums, it's a one-person album. You look under the label, under Apple Music, it's going to say that person's record label, not the other person's record label. Peep game, y'all. So when Drake did it, it was fine. Everybody looked at it as a Drake album. When other artists try to do it, it does not work out. So with this Grove 2, it did not sell well. It didn't sell well because, for one, you waited 3 years just to drop something, right? Which didn't make any sense. And then when you finally did announce it, there was conflicting dates behind it. But here's the number one reason why it confused everybody. You changed the entire name of the album. Why would you change the name of something that you already promoted for 3 years? So to change it to question thing on Twitter, he was like, how did y'all know this song? You the one posted it, my guy. You told us about this album. But you called it Grove 2. Why are you calling it 2 different albums? Just stick to one name so people can grasp onto it and stop switching it up. See, but they wanted to switch it up, promote it, have 50 Cent narrate it, and you sold the same amount as Rick Ross and Meek Mill. How did you sell the same amount as them when you are better artists? You are two better artists, and here's why. Lack of promotion, all that. Within a week before the album dropped, they promoted the hell out of it, but it was too late. You should have been doing that 3 years ago. But that's what it is. And people are like, well, Lil Wayne don't really do that much promotion with his albums and all that. That's the problem. He's going to have to learn that unless his name is Drake or unless he learned how to sing, he's going to have to do something different with his promotion. Because that was a great promotion for an album if people knew it was coming out, if he didn't change the name for it. But as you don't know, Lil Wayne does not do that. He thinks it's still 2008, and he thinks he can just drop anything and any time. And he's going to find out, if he hasn't already, you can't do that. Nicki has the bars behind her back. She can drop anything, and they'll support the hell out of it. She'll do any feature, they'll support the hell out of it. They support the hell out of this album, but you know what a lot of people said about Pink Friday too? This album came out? I didn't know this album came out. Lack of promotion. All that. Some of these artists need to realize that their name isn't Drake or Taylor Swift. They need to realize, and you guys are going to find out. Y'all want to know how much Kanye West is going to sell with this Vultures album? Around 200K. Y'all might say, what's wrong with that, Damarcus? That's not bad. You're right. If he would have dropped that Vultures album 5 years ago, or if he don't delay every album, he can do way more. Put more money in your pocket. The labels are starting to realize, unless we go behind this TikTok movement or if we do this movement, we're not going to sell that much. Because you might still have a name. Your name still is Kanye West. Your name still is Lil Wayne. But guess what? Your fans are always going to support you. But is everybody else going to still support you? Everybody else still going to... Because you know what people going to say? I didn't even know Kanye was going to drop an album. This is probably news to some of y'all, as I'm telling y'all right now. Yes, Kanye's going to drop an album. The whole world can know. But is the whole world going to stream it? Is the whole world going to buy it? It's way different now in the streaming era. 2018 was probably the last year where a lot of these people can get away with dropping an album and it doing really good or going #1. Trippie Redd. I want to put Travis in there. I want to put Uzi in there. A lot of those artists. Around 2018, 2020, especially with those bundles and all that, they were able to get away with a lot of these finesse. Add the extra bundle to it. If you buy this McDonald's meal, you can get the album too, and that's an album sale. Everybody gonna want to buy the freaking McDonald's meal, so you can't get away with a lot of these finesses anymore. So, like I said, Taylor Swift or Drake are in a different lane when it comes to music and selling things and things like that. So that's what it is, and I explained that to you guys months ago when I announced that Lil Wayne was dropping that project, and that's what he's going to have to understand, or his record label, or the people that's promoting him, because he has a new management team and all that, Karen Civil and all them. What they're going to have to understand is that Lil Wayne is going to have to do a little bit more work when it comes to his album. He can't just drop it or do a little anticipation and all that. Because if Lil Wayne was to drop Carter 6, which I believe he's going to do sometime in 2024, people are going to have to know that it's coming out, not just his fans. He's going to have to do something different with dropping that album. He can't drop it like he done Funeral. Like, the way he dropped Funeral is why it only sold 100-something K, and the reason why a lot of people didn't like it. It was also a lot of different. People don't like change. People like the same. If you try to switch something up, or you want to rap and do rock and pop all at the same time, ask Doja Cat how that happened. They like the old Doja Cat. We like Say So. Why'd you have to do the Paint the Town Red or all that extra devil rapping crap? We like the white version of you. We don't like the black version of you. You have to stick in your lane. You have to stick to one thing and stick to it. People say, Lil Wayne, why are you trying to sing? Why are you trying to do all this rock and roll? We like when you rap, Lil Wayne. Just rap. Even if it don't sell, because he's trying to change. People don't like change. He's trying to do different things, different rap, different singing, and people don't like change. People are adapted to who you are. If I was to change my whole channel or do different things, certain people are not going to like that. We like when you do vlogs, or we like when you do basketball videos or TVTs or whatever, or post music, because that's what they are used to. That's what they're accustomed to. Not everyone is accustomed to change. So this is why music in this day and age is declining, and that's why music in this day and age isn't selling as much as it used to, maybe even 5 years ago, is because the music industry is changing. And TikTok is a big reason of that. TikTok has blown up in the last couple years, so people are now making music to fit that narrative or that genre so they can get 15 seconds of a stream. I can tell y'all personally, who's someone who makes music, and the music goes on TikTok, TikTok pays the most money. So most people are probably chasing a single or a song, a catchy sound that's going to fit TikTok's generic genre that's going to play on there. Because no one wants to play unless a rap song got a catchy hook or something, or a catchy sample, it ain't making TikTok. So these record labels are pushing that and saying, hey, let's get this sample cleared so that TikTok can play the hell out of it, or those Instagram reels, whatever. That's going to catch more attention. So that's what it is. And that's why the main single on Cali Girl 2, which is supposed to be a rapping album, is this is weird little sample thing, instrument horn that's playing, because the TikTok called it, paired that little sound, and they like it. 2 Chainz and Def Jam knew exactly what they were doing when they did that. They did that on purpose. And trust me, that's the worst song on the album, because I don't like that type of music. I like rap. I don't like that extra crap. So if you're trying to go for a radio hit or a catchy TikTok sound, trust me, it's very noticeable to catch. We can catch that anytime. It's very easy to notice. So if you want to know why Doja Cat, who has over 100 million followers on on Instagram, only sold 37K, those satanic messages, like I told you on the last video, and that whole changing and trying to do different stuff, people miss the old Doja Cat, but she know what she said. I was only doing that for the record label. Now they gonna have her switch up. If you want to know why Kanye West album that's dropping next Friday is only gonna sell like 200 something K, that's why. If you try to do the same shit, people don't like that. They want you to do TikTok shit, different sound, things like that. If you want to know why Drake and Taylor Swift are the only 2 artists, the main 2 artists, by the way, there's a few more out there like Travis Scott, all that. Those are the 2 main artists who are still catching everyone's attention. They can sell 400, a million to a million first week easily. That's why. They still relate to the people. Even if y'all say Drake is still doing the same crap and he isn't evolving, Drake has reached his peak. In 2018, Drake reached his peak. We all know that. Drake dropped Scorpion, and we said, yes, he did it. That's the best he can get. And there will be no more Take Care Drake. There's no way in hell you can be someone in the game that long and keep getting better. That's not possible. You can add to your game. You can add different flows, but that Take Care Drake is gone. So y'all need to let that go. Drake hit his peak in 2018 when he dropped Scorpion. Lil Wayne, hate to say it, a lot of that old music, even music that's coming out now is still old, probably hit his peak in 2018 too when he dropped Carter 5. A lot of those songs were old, y'all. Those weren't new music. That was old music. If you take 5-6 years to drop an album, don't expect all that to be new music. It will be old music too. Trust me. So that's really the thing is, and just understand why your favorite artist probably isn't selling that much. It's because the music industry is changing. And if your artist is unwilling to change with that, then guess what? He's going to sell lower. Each year is going to get lower, and lower until he change. Till Lil Wayne, you see how Lil Wayne is trying to post on TikTok now all of a sudden? I don't ever watch TikTok or look on there, but I be seeing the little notifications. You want to know why? He's trying to go with the flow. He's trying to go with the trend. But you know what people are saying? That ain't you, Wayne. We don't like that. Just do what you. That's what his OG fans want him to do. But guess what the new generation want him to do? What everybody else is doing. You either be a follower or a leader. You choose a side. You pick one. But the music industry is changing. Yours truly, Machiavelli.